Hello YouTube. Well, today I knocked off the 9 drawers. I got to let them sit till tomorrow. So that's for the stage 2. And so I got time to do a little experimenting. What I'm going to try to do is make a way for, this is a pellet pistol I've got, a way to store this and keep it from bouncing around. And I've seen somebody try to do this using some Great Stuff foam, and they did it for a set of tools. So I'm going to play around with it and see if I can get this to work. I tried, the first thing I did try was to, my son and his wife have a vacuum seal, and I tried putting the pellet pistol and the bottom board into it, but it just didn't want to suck it down tight enough. It left a lot of gaps. So I'm going to do something different. Is I'm going to use the cling wrap. I'm going to wrap the board, wrap the gun separate, set the gun in, and then I'm going to also wrap these individual boards here and the top, and then I'm going to spray it all with the PAM vegetable oil spray stuff. And once that's all in there, that's just so it'll release, and then I can put this piece on top, spray the foam in, and then put this piece on top. The little notches here are a relief to give the foam some place to go. Don't know if that's going to be needed or not, but this is going to be attempt number 1, and let's see how this works. Okay, basic box. So we're just going to leave this alone, let it cure, and see what happens. Definitely wear gloves when you're doing this. All right, let me we'll let this cure, and then we'll come back for like an unboxing. Well, it says it's going to be tack-free in 15 minutes and fully cured in 8 hours. So I'm going to leave it overnight. And we'll come back out here tomorrow morning and see how it's going. I don't know, I got a good feeling this is going to work. Okay, experiment number B, or 2. I think there's a couple of things. I've read the back of the can. This time I'm going to try this gap and crack stuff. The window and door doesn't push out a lot, doesn't really expand, or when it expands, it's really weak. And obviously it turned to goo in experiment 1. Possibly, I read the can, it says no, not to fill closed voids, which once I put this cover on, it did. So I'm thinking it really needs the air. So what I'm doing this time, it also leaked out the bottom, so I put a little bit of duct tape, and I'm not going to put a cover on it this time. The idea, this is deep enough, and this is only an experiment anyway, and if I just fill this with the foam, I use a whole can on here, and that will expand it out. And hopefully, if I spray it really well around the pellet pistol here, it should work. But like I said, we're going to leave it open to the air tonight and see what happens. So the other possibility is that there may have been some alcohol or something in the vegetable spray. So that could have eaten the foam up before it actually formed. So let me spray this in, we'll see what happens. Well, let's see how this came out. It looks promising. As I expected it, no top. Pretty hard. I got a bread knife that I'm going to cut off this excess. I'm going to move you over here where it's a little not on the same thing. Ew. Good thing I'm not cutting any bread for a while. Well, I'm going to say this is also a failure because it hardens on the outside and not on the inside. So around the edges it's good, but I don't know if you can see this. It's just all gooey and soft. So that's another failure. Still like the idea, but maybe I'm just trying to make it too thick. Maybe if I make a shallower thing. So buy another can, give it another try. Okay, experiments 1 and 2 failed. Number 1, I tried using the window and trim and with a board on top to keep it contained. should have read the instructions where it says not to fill closed voids, and that one didn't work. So I tried regular grate stuff, which expands somewhat. Same problem, crusted over, looked nice, gooey in the middle. Just for future reference, both those cans, if you read the fine print, say for voids or for gaps not over 3 inches or an inch, and I was doing them like 3.5, which probably is why. So today I'm going to try experiment number 3 using this stuff, big gap filler that's up to 3 inches. Now I am not going to try to do this, fill the box right up. I'm going to put a layer around the gun and maybe a little over it, and then give that some time. This is supposedly be able to seal it, shut it off, and come back. And so tomorrow I will put a second layer on. It's really, I don't want, this doesn't have to be all that deep. For what I want to do, it's going into a 4-inch drawer. So 3.5 inches. If it's 3 inches, it'll cover this gun. Hopefully it'll cover other things. Should. So let's see what happens. So supposedly I didn't cover it all, and I got just one layer and some over the top of the gun, and I assume this is going to expand some, so let's just leave it alone and see what happens. Okay, here's attempt number 3. I already cut the top off with a bread knife. Not gooey in the middle, so that's a good sign. The way I did this one was a little different, is that I used that big gap filler, and I didn't try to fill 3 inches at once. I did one layer, let it dry for 24 hours, and then did the second layer. So let's unbox this thing and see what it looks like. Well, that looks good so far. What's nice is this saran wrap is not sticking to it. And I sort of expected it to seep under the gun a little bit, but again, this is just a trial. So I think what I do in doing this for real is I'll get some Play-Doh and form a little lip around it. What do you think? I think that came out nice, and I think that's going to be the way to go. It's some voids here and there, but I'm thinking, well, let me show you what I'm thinking. I'll be right back. Okay, I got a lot of this upholstery type material. It's sort of got a vinyl, pretty tight on the back. I thought, because this is all stuff I used in the bed area, and I thought maybe if I could figure out a way to get it to lay in there smooth. I might be doing a lot of cutting and trimming it down just to get it to lay in there, but I think that would look nice like that. In any case, the main reason for doing this is not display. It's to keep firearms from bouncing around as I drive down the road in what essentially is a mobile earthquake. And I think this is nice. It's not gonna slide around at all. And now to do it full scale in a drawer. This is way thicker. The drawers are 4 inches, which is what this is. It doesn't need to be that thick. I really want to maybe cap it off at 3 inches. So that's getting the top, or getting it done one layer right, put the next and then trim it down to that 3 inches. I don't know if I got boards kicking around that I can make it, but we'll see. So if you got any ideas, other ways to pretty it up than the fabric, let me know in the comments, and I will do another video. This is the experimental video. I'm gonna do another video, step-by-step instructions on how to do this, because as far as I know, I only found one other one online, and his was okay, but this one, his was for tools. This one's going to be for firearms. All right, see you down the road, YouTube. Bye.
Jumped off the wagon and he spread out his hands. Brace yourselves and come for your women. We will do